Hey guys, I am here to get Nashville, which is directed by Robert Altman, released in the year 1975. And this is a project that weighs a distinctly massive weight upon over the. Really, every time I rewatch this, I didn't even think much of it at first, but I think it's because this is such a transcendental kind of project. I needed a few viewings to fully acquire to its extent of subtlety. This is a very subtle way around an ensemble cast with a way that ends up leaving an impact that reminds me a lot of the balance between Boogie Nights and Magnolia. Like this gives me a lot of this kind of way in a very subtle kind of perspective where there's just a lot of characters and it all just kind of adds up to just an ultimate sense of curiosity, which ends up being very uniquely warm and enduring, which Robert Altman just has a warmth with this project that really shines through all throughout. Because it's displayed in this kind of like a day in the life of a country scene with there's many different character perspectives. Altman's atmosphere is just distinctively loose, and it just puts you right in the moment. I mean, it just kind of feels great being around the characters because it's like I think all this just ends up being really entertaining. There are so many great, interesting characters all throughout. Like look at Keith Carradine, for example, one of my favorites of the project. Like I really enjoy his music. I just enjoy his performances all throughout the most because I would say overall the songs in this to me are hit or miss, but ultimately that's kind of I think the idea of it's more just about the atmosphere entirely more than it is like how much you love or dislike the songs. I think it's just this kind of film. It's just kind of take it in as an atmosphere for the characters. But Carradine's case, this is fantastic, and I really enjoy his dynamic with just this is amazing depiction all throughout. Christina Raines. And I absolutely love the scene where he's performing in the song "I'm Easy," and there's numerous characters that think that he wrote it about them. That's just amazing from start to finish. And then Alan Garfield, I really enjoy his dynamics with Ronnie Blakely all throughout, as he's just like something of an ultimate bodyguard for us. I mean, he really stands ground. I love the scenes where he's kind of showing some tough love while they're in the hospital because Ronnie Blakely is like a superstar who suffered for some just having a lot of insanity. And basically Garfield's just there to comfort him. And then whenever she's gotta go on a little insane on stage, Garfield just wonderfully kind of just handles it really smoothly. Building Chaplin, just very surreal character from start to finish. She's downright hilarious. My absolute favorite scene when she's just wandering around in the middle of a junkyard full of crushed cars. I absolutely enjoyed all that. And then Ronnie Blakely, you can really enjoy this kind of insane sort of star, and I love the way that her character is paced out very slowly, where she just seems like, oh, she's that superstar, but then you get behind the scenes with her more and more as it goes building up to her doing a stage performance, and it just ends up being really a tragic kind of character. A lot of attention put into this one. And Karen Black is simply fantastic in this from start to finish. Scott Glenn is someone who's very offbeat and strange, eccentric. There's just something very offbeat about the way he is in this. Very awkward character. Generally, it's it feels offbeat. Michael Murphy, he's certainly one of my favorite characters because he generally seems very naive within the whole music scene, and it's just the way that it kind of all that ends up kind of shattering his naivete throughout this progression. David Hayward's a very interesting kind of subtle character who ends up having the darkest arc of the whole project. It ends up foreshadowing plenty of elements of Robert De Niro and Taxi Driver the following year. I mean, this story is particularly warped. And Shelley Duvall is just a great character. He's generally kind of just a wanderer, a perceiver. I really enjoy watching her. All the others. Christina Raines is fantastic. She's just kind of experiences a lot of delusion as and she kind of just goes through a heartbreak. She's just kind of this interesting affair between these folk musicians she performs with. So I really enjoyed her performance from start to finish. Then Henry Gibson just kind of seems like a cranky old tag roll throughout. He's certainly fascinating and leaves us just a very fascinating sort of impact in all this. Alan F. Nicholas has this very bipolar kind of personality. He always seems like he's ready to have something of an outburst. He seems very suspicious about Raines having an affair, so he just gets really insane. Ned Betty always just seems like he's in a friendly, bubbly mood. Marvin Baxley, she seems very feisty. And Jeff Goldblum, he hardly even talks, but this is one of the first roles he was ever in. But you just mostly see him in a motorcycle. It just really holds up. Lily Tomlin seems like she's in fantastic spirits. Gwen Wells kind of just goes through a lot of delusional patterns. It always seems to involve her practicing. There's no way she can be, ends up being booted and ends up doing this striptease, which is a very kind of depressing sort of depiction of naivete, but it ends up being a strange amount of uplifting joy in the way that other kids just react around all that too. So it makes letting people have more compassion about it. Well, it's initially very harrowing to witness. And I really enjoy all these characters from start to finish. I really enjoy the Elliott Gould cameo. Julie Christie has one here as well. And the composer of a lot of the songs. He gets cute out in the opening scene by Henry Gibson as a composer. But yeah, all this just really holds up from start to finish.